Stephanie Jenkins posted Deshawn not even 24 hours since court. I thought part of the order was that all parties involved were not supposed to post Deshawn, nor his girlfriend. But she clearly made a video doing what she wanted to do. I guarantee this is their way out. The GFM was bullshit, and within 2 weeks, Deshawn is going to be with his mom full time because they cannot follow court order. It's like they feel like they're above the law or something. And the entitlement that she feels in the video saying that she's not going to work a job just to pay for daycare is absolutely wild to me, because in most states, if you don't make a certain amount of money, you could get childcare. If she really wanted to better all their life, she would do just that. She would get a job, try to get childcare assistance, still post on social media, and make a good amount of money every month to be able to better their lives. That is just pure laziness.
Buckle up, because this tea is scorching, and trust, it's about to spill everywhere. The Stephanie Jenkins saga just took a jaw-dropping turn, and it's got everyone asking, is she trying to lose custody on purpose? Here's what went down. Less than 24 hours, and I do mean less than a day, after Drew stepped out of the courtroom, Stephanie was already back on social media acting like court orders don't apply to her. She didn't even let the courtroom chairs get cold before she fired up her camera and posted a full video of Deshawn. Yes, the Deshawn, the little boy at the center of this whole custody mess. Like, girl, what are you doing? Now let's be very clear, the judge had just laid down the law. No posting, no talking, no hints, no nothing about the case or Deshawn. Not from Stephanie. Not from Drew. Not even from Desiree, Deshawn's biological mom. It was a total social media blackout. And yet, here comes Stephanie, smiling into the camera with Deshawn front and center like she was filming a vlog, not violating a court order. But babe, that's just the tip of the drama iceberg. Because this isn't Stephanie's first time dancing over a legal line like it's a TikTok trend. She's been playing this defiance game for months. Last time she got hit with a court order, she acted like it was a handwritten suggestion from a fan. She went right back online, posting Deshawn like he was part of her aesthetic, not a child in the middle of a custody fight. She dragged Desiree in live streams, cried broke mom tears, and leaned all the way into the misunderstood victim role. And when people started calling her out, she shrugged like it was lint on her shirt and hit them with the world's weakest excuse, well, no one told me not to. Ma'am, you were literally just in court. Do you need a PowerPoint presentation? Or were you too busy checking your lighting? Meanwhile, Desiree was done playing nice. Her attorney came in swinging, armed with screenshots, saved clips, timestamps, the whole digital receipt book. They laid it all out for the judge. Stephanie's little online show wasn't just disrespectful, it was intentional. And let me tell you, the judge didn't hold back. She didn't sugarcoat. She didn't blink. She warned Stephanie and Drew, one more slip up, and that's it. Deshawn would be handed over to Desiree, permanently. No more back and forth. No more miscommunications. Just done. And here's the gag, the timing of it all. Stephanie didn't wait a week, or even a few days. She posted the video immediately after Drew walked out of court. Like, was it even noon yet? It was almost like she was daring the court to do something. If she cared about keeping Deshawn, wouldn't she be on her best behavior? Wouldn't she be doing everything she could to prove she's a stable, rule-following adult? But nope. She flipped on the camera and hit post like she was checking off a to-do list. And Drew. Don't even get us started. The man was right there in the courtroom. He heard every word, saw the court order in black and white. And when Stephanie did her little online stunt, crickets, not a warning. Not a correction. Not even a hey, maybe don't risk losing our kid today. He just sat there, letting it all happen. That silence? It's loud, babe. It's saying everything he doesn't want to say out loud.
If I can develop with each kid.
The literal judge said you cannot post him anymore yesterday. They told you that yesterday. It's been 1 day and you could not listen for 1 day. Stop posting him.
As well as he's been working gig work for quite some time now, and it's been an adjustment for the kids. They're not used to him being gone so often.
But Stephanie says Drew's never even home, right? He's not home overnights anymore, and he's not home during the day because he's doing gig work. So why do you have his son? The son that his mother wants custody of. Because it sounds to me like if his dad's never home, then his mom should have him. right? That's how it normally works. Why do you, the girlfriend, think that you have rights over a child that is not yours?
And she very well may be our last baby. Honestly, I'm really ready to have my body back. But more,
Stephanie bought herself something new. Instead of taking her kids somewhere, like, I don't know, urban air, like you promised them, but you don't have the money for that, but you could spend money on a ring light?
And if we're being real, it's starting to look like Drew never wanted custody in the first place. He's admitted more than once that the only reason he even got involved in the fight was because Stephanie pushed him into it. This was never about stepping up as a father. This was about playing a role for her. And now that she's out here blowing up their case, he's checked out. He's not fighting to win custody. He's letting the court take it. But here's where things start to twist. Because if they lose custody, Desiree gets more rights. She gets to see Deshawn more, take him for visits, do drop-offs, pickups, and you already know Stephanie wants none of that. This is the same woman who refused to let Desiree anywhere near her house, let alone her timeline. So what if, and hear me out, losing custody isn't the punishment? What if, for Stephanie, it's the plan?
Are we understanding that Drew seems to be giving up on fighting for his son Deshawn? And this is Drew from the Resilient Jenkins channel, and it's just like, he's given up. I feel like if Drew Jenkins loses custody of Deshawn, for him, first of all, he's gonna love it, because he already put up the facade of wanting to fight for him. I think that was more to please Stephanie, because remember, she's making the money through the TikTok channel that they have. But this was more to please Stephanie Jenkins, or sorry, Stephanie Thompson, one of that, I don't know. I call her Stephanie Jenkins because that's what she coined herself. I really don't care, but let's get back to the fact that Drew Jenkins really wants to lose custody of his son. He's not really putting him like much of a fight. He's not listening to the judge. He's just kind of like, meh.
If Deshawn's gone, so is Desiree. No more awkward exchanges. No more threats to her fragile narrative. And no more having to share the spotlight with the child's actual mother. And Drew. Once the kid's out of the picture, he has zero reason to stay. Let's not forget, he's already ducking child support for another son. Just last week, a judge basically told him, pay up or go to jail. You think a man who risks jail time to avoid his other child is gonna stick around for Stephanie once this blows up? Ha! Not likely. Meanwhile, let's not forget the narrative she's been pushing online. We can't afford anything right now. No urban air, no summer fun, no outings. Everything's too expensive. So, let me get this straight. There's cash for content tools, but not a single dollar for your kids to enjoy one day of summer magic? A ring light over roller coasters? Equipment over experiences? Make it make sense, because right now it's giving selfish, not selfless. And this isn't just a one-time splurge. It's part of a disturbing pattern. Stephanie keeps investing in her brand, her presence, her platform, everything except the actual children she claims to be fighting for. She's building a content empire while her kids sit inside a stuffy motel room, making do with nothing. It's not saving for housing, it's saving face online. But that's not even the scariest part. Somewhere in all this chaos, Stephanie casually dropped a hint, just a whisper, about maybe having another baby. She didn't say it outright, but when she referred to little Momo as, maybe the last born, people caught it. That word, maybe, set off alarms everywhere. Because babe, maybe implies possibility. And the idea that Stephanie is even entertaining the thought of another child? In this situation? Terrifying. Let's just call it what it is. Stephanie and Drew already have more kids than they can handle. They're not raising a family, they're struggling to survive in a single cramped motel room packed with noise, tension, and zero personal space. It's overcrowded. It's chaotic. It's unhealthy. These kids aren't living, they're enduring. And where's Drew in all of this? Not parenting, that's for sure. He's off doing gig work during the day, then dipping into a night shift that keeps him gone until the kids are asleep. So who's left to keep this ship afloat? Not Stephanie. Not Drew. It's Audie, their eldest daughter. A child forced into a mother role, parenting her siblings because the actual adults in her life are too busy chasing likes or running away from responsibility. She's raising kids she didn't make, cleaning up messes she didn't cause, and carrying emotional weight she never should have been handed. And now Stephanie's talking about bringing another baby into the picture? It's not just delusional, it's dangerous. And hold on, because here comes the most jaw-clenching, stomach-turning twist yet. Viewers with sharp eyes spotted something in the background of Stephanie's video, something no one was ready to see: a box of Trojans. Yep. A full box of condoms, just sitting out like decor. In a motel room. With 5 kids. 1 room. No privacy. No structure. No safety.
You have 5 children living in 1 room. 2 adults. Why do you have a box of Trojans?
You literally live in 1 room with 5 kids, none of which are all gone at the same time. So how is that appropriate? Where, when, why? How is that a priority? How is that even on your minds? I'm so confused. Are you using those around the kids? Are you going into the bathroom together? In the motel? Like, that can't be a normal thing, right? Am I?
Now pause and think about that. These kids don't go to school. They don't have a babysitter. There's no back room. There's no separate space for adult time. It's just them, all of them, in one single, suffocating room all day, all night. So that box sitting in plain sight? It raised a terrifying question: when and where is anything adult going down? Are Stephanie and Drew really out here sneaking around during the day while the kids are outside unsupervised in a motel parking lot? Or worse, are they just waiting until the kids are asleep and carrying on in the same room where they lay? Every possible answer is disturbing. There is no version of this scenario that feels okay, no version where the kids are safe. No version that doesn't hint at a total collapse of boundaries. And that box? It wasn't just some innocent oversight. It cracked open a door to a much darker reality. A reality where young children, still wide-eyed, still learning how the world works, are being exposed to adult behavior in the most inappropriate, unhealthy way possible. And that kind of exposure? It doesn't just make kids uncomfortable, it damages them. We're talking about long-term psychological harm. Deep, quiet trauma that lingers into adulthood. When young children grow up in an environment where there's no privacy, no security, and no respect for boundaries, they start to lose something crucial: trust. What they see, what they hear, what they pick up on, even when no one thinks they're watching, it sticks. It burrows into them and reshapes how they understand love, safety, family. Confusion becomes normal. Anxiety becomes constant. Shame takes root. And the worst part? That loss of innocence? You don't ever get that back. These kids aren't teenagers. They're not old enough to process this, to push back, to draw their own lines. They're just kids. Looking to the only adults in their lives for structure, safety, and guidance, and being handed chaos, neglect, and blurred lines instead. And for what? For clout? For content? For a moment of adult pleasure in a room bursting with children and noise and stress? Stephanie and Drew aren't just failing as parents, they're creating a breeding ground for lifelong scars. Mental, emotional, and maybe more. This isn't just messy anymore. It's dangerous. And with Desiree now approved for unsupervised weekend visits starting August, the pressure is mounting, and the cracks in Stephanie's carefully curated life are only getting deeper. If Stephanie and Drew can't even follow the most basic court order, don't post online, what makes anyone believe they're going to respect Desiree's visitation rights? Like, be for real. These two have already shown us exactly who they are. And every move they make screams one thing: they're not preparing to co-parent. They're not preparing to follow the rules. They're setting the stage to get custody snatched right out of their hands, and they know it. It's almost like they want the judge to do the hard part for them. Like they're sitting back, breaking every rule in the book, silently hoping the court just steps in and ends the whole thing, so they don't have to be the ones to say it out loud. Because when that day finally comes, when the judge drops the hammer and says enough is enough, you already know what they're gonna do. Cue the ring light, cue the tears. Cue the "we tried everything" victim speeches for the internet. They'll spin it like the system failed them. Like they were blindsided. But we know the truth, babe. They're not losing Deshawn. They're handing him over with a bow on top and then begging everyone to feel sorry for them afterward. Meanwhile, Desiree? She's out here moving like an actual grown-up. Cautious. Careful. Intentional. She's not rushing in and yanking Deshawn from everything he knows, even though she could. No. She's thinking like a real mother. She knows how fragile a child's world can be, especially after living in chaos. She's trying to ease him into stability. Slowly. Gently. The way a real parent would. And Stephanie and Drew? They're showing the complete opposite energy. Tossing Deshawn back and forth like he's some accessory, like he's not a child with thoughts and feelings, but just another piece of content they can wave around for sympathy and views. There's no pause. No care. No awareness of what this instability is doing to him emotionally. They're so wrapped up in rule breaking, clout chasing, and victim playing, they've completely forgotten the one person this is actually about. And let's not forget the performance they gave just a few weeks ago. Remember that? Stephanie and Drew parading Deshawn online, swearing he was happy, thriving, didn't want to leave? Oh, the fake smiles. The carefully staged moments. The emotional manipulation. They were pulling every heartstring trying to convince the world they were giving him the best life possible, but fast forward to now, and everything they're doing is actively pushing him away. Violating court orders. Making reckless decisions. Undermining the very case they claim to care about. They're not just losing him by accident. They're making it inevitable. And the saddest part? It's not even shocking anymore. Because Stephanie? She'll say whatever sounds good in the moment. One minute she's preaching about love and family, the next she's uploading content that completely contradicts her own words. Her actions never match her script. And Deshawn? He's stuck in the middle. Again. Being pulled in every direction while the adults pretend it's all out of their control. And maybe, just maybe, this is the blessing in disguise no one expected. Because as heartbreaking as this mess is, sometimes the ugliest chapters lead to the most beautiful new beginnings. And if Stephanie and Drew keep showing the court exactly how careless and emotionally checked out they are, maybe Deshawn's escape has already begun. Because getting out of that motel, away from the instability, the chaos, the performative parenting, and into the arms of people who actually show up for him? That could be the best thing that ever happens to him. He deserves peace. He deserves structure. He deserves people who protect his heart, not their image. And if losing him is the only thing Stephanie and Drew get right, then maybe, just maybe, it'll be the one decision that finally gives him a real chance. But I want to hear from you, babe. After everything we've just unpacked, the court violations, the manipulative antics, the non-stop recklessness, do you honestly believe these kids are safe with Stephanie and Drew? Or have we all just witnessed two adults destroy a child's foundation while pretending to fight for him? If you've been sipping this tea with us and you know it's far from over, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Because the next chapter? Phew, it's coming, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this messy, jaw-dropping roller coaster. See you in the next one.